Hey guys, I'm gonna freestyle this video and we'll see where we end up. But I was just watching some old videos of mine. You know, some people commented and said, "Hey, thank you for this video. It blessed me, whatnot. It inspired me to make a new video." Because on the video that I have made, kind of specifying how the devil works, how the life works, pretty much. And I'm gonna touch on that again, but this time with a little bit more elaboration because I feel like it could really help in detail. It can help people work out their life, and maybe, just maybe, they'll listen to me and they'll spare themselves a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, right? A lot of consequences. So I'm gonna get right to it, and I'll tell you right now, this video is gonna be worth your time. Stick around. So I'm gonna talk about when you're growing up, when you're young, you're very ambitious. You're looking at the world. There's a lot of starstruck stuff that's going on in TV. You're looking at your idols. You're looking at celebrities. You're seeing a lot of stuff that, the world is super big to you, right? And and as you look at the world and everything in it, you're so filled with energy and so filled with all this desire to go and do everything under the sky. You got, you know, and you have no sense of right or wrong, especially in today's day and age. On television, on all kinds, you're not going to get the truth, man. And I think that a lot of people are on to the fact that the politicians are big liars, right? Well, politicians, they be ruling government, and government kind of rules over us in a lot of ways. And so I just want you to peep and watch out and keep your eyes open to the fact of what they're pushing, their agendas and whatnot, and how it's not geared towards godliness. It's geared towards pervertedness. It's geared towards the things of the devil. Did you know that Satan has a Bible? Did you know that Satan has his own book? Did you know that? Okay, I haven't read Satan's book. I don't want to read it. But I tell you what, there's things in that book that I've heard other people talk about that it talks about what's going on in terms of what Satan is for. And Satan is for anything to do with rebellion. Satan is for anything to do with fighting, violence, um, bitterness, anger, all this kind of stuff, right? But he's also for homosexuality, gay, transvestites. Satan is. It's all in his book, as like pleasing yourself, just indulge in the flesh and whatnot. And so, hey, listen, you're free to do whatever you want, right? But I'm just a compass. I'm just gonna tell you, hey, north is this way, south is this way, east is west, and west is that way. That's all I'm gonna do in this video. Everybody's gonna do whatever they want in the end of the day, but at least you're gonna know right from wrong. You're gonna know what decision takes you where. At least I feel like everybody should know that much. And then from that place, if you make your decision and it's the wrong decision, hey, you made your bed lay in it, kind of stuff, right? But yeah, these days it's really hard to even know the truth. These days it's like, yo, um, somebody once said that the truth is so rare that it's surrounded by a body of lies. Munch on that right quick. So with all that said, you're a kid. I'm starting at the very beginning when people are children and how they're looking at the world, right? And they just imagine you're a child, you're innocent, you don't know anything, but what they're filling your mind up with your brain is complete nonsense. It's complete garbage, right? Like, for example, I bought the Facebook virtual reality thing, and the reason I bought it is because I want to get in shape, and it has boxing, and so I could like do cardio that way, right? But in buying it and purchasing it, I see what's on that thing, right? And it's the most decrepit, evil, contaminating stuff that you can't even imagine, bro. I'm talking about, this was one game that I saw that you're in underwear, all right? Everybody's in an underwear, right? You get to choose your character, and the character, it could be a monster, it could be this or that. And remember, like, just imagine that this is a child playing this game, and then you're giving a knife, you're giving guns and whatnot, and then your brain feels like you're in the game, right? And I don't know if you've played it before, but when you shoot, you literally feel like you shot somebody, like your emotions be messing with you. And then when you hold the knife, you literally have to do this gesture in the game in order to stab that person. And so again, dangerous is not the word. It's like you have to see that there's an agenda there. You have to see that there is, like the government. They're not stupid. They understand that what a movie could do to you. Like that guy that shot up the whole movie theater because he saw the movie Joker, and then he wanted to play out the character of Joker, and so he shot up the whole movie theater. And so right there, if that's the only case in the whole world, that case can make us a case for that TV can do you harm psychologically. Now it's been proven scientifically that it's warfare on your mind. It's already been proven since the '60s, but yet they just put all this, like they spew this. Oh man, it's hell. Okay, on the screen. But that virtual reality thing that I'm talking about, they take it to a whole nother level because it's almost like you're in the game. It's almost like you're in doing those things. And so when you step out of the game, the impression of that you just stabbed somebody or you just shot somebody sticks with you. And it's almost like if you do it enough, you do it enough, you do it enough in the game, you'll feel emboldened enough to do it in reality. And nobody puts any kind of like their foot down and say, hey, I don't think that that's right. Everything flies in this world. But if you talk about Jesus, oh, God forbid you talk about Jesus. Oh, God forbid you tell somebody that's wrong to be, like if they're veering off course, you try to like, hey, listen, I think it'd be a better idea for you to do life this way. Oh, no, 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 sound off the alarms. They're trying to help somebody. It's freaking nonsense, bro. But the Bible talks about in the end days, evil being called good and good being called evil. Evil being called good and good being called evil, and that's what we're seeing today. I'm gonna stick to the topic. So what I want to do is I want to expose what the devil's up to. I want to show people, how they could get delivered and blessed and helped by God. How they can transfer from sin and darkness to light. I want to talk about different things, right, guys? I was so deceived when I was growing up. I thought that smiles, anytime I saw somebody smile, I related it to being happy. Did you know that you can smile and fake it? And that's what you see a lot in this world. You see a lot of this. Ah, don't I look happy right now? I look like I'm walling out, right? Hey guys, as easy as I did that, I can do that. So I'm just like that right there just shows you how easy it is to deceive people. And so I fell for that kind of stuff. I saw the rappers with the big gold chains and the cars and the women and the money and they're drinking liquor, and the stuff that I fell for was the I wanted identity, and this is the hot topic that everybody on planet Earth, for the most part, they're searching for identity, especially when they're young, right? As you get older, you stop caring what people think of you. But when you're young, man, you think the world out of people. So when you're young, people are your god, and you want to please people. And so when so everybody has stories about how they try to please somebody, and then little by little they took advantage of them. They got abused. They got taken advantage of. Everybody has one of those stories, but little by little you just start snapping out of it, and then you get to a point where you don't trust anybody. You push everybody away. You become a bitter person. You become angry and this and that, and then you just have your walls up and you do life by yourself. You know, I know a lot of people like that, but what's a better way than that? Okay, I'm gonna tell you, man. Uh, But first, let me pop the illusions on the whole. Like, where's the happiness at? Where's everybody's searching for this thing called happiness and fulfillment and satisfaction. You're not gonna believe me when I tell you. When I tell you right now what it is, you're not gonna believe me. I'm gonna tell you, and you choose to believe me or not. But this is the truth. Now, me personally, I'm gonna tell you the truth, right? I smoked a lot. I drank a lot. I snorted a lot. I drank a lot of pills. I had a lot of sex with females. I went to the strip clubs. I did a lot of violence. I did a lot of fighting because I wanted to prove myself. And I made a lot of friends. And I had a lot of people almost like, that liked me and backed me up and rooted me on and talked good about me, etc. I also had the opposite. I had a lot of people that didn't like me and enemies and didn't like me at all. But why do I say all that? I say that because once upon a time, those things that I just mentioned meant the world to me. That's what signified life to me. Each one thing that I just named signified that I was meaningful, that I was powerful, that I was worthy, that I was valuable, that I was strong, that I was courageous, you know. In all of these things, it all points out to identity. I wanted people and I wanted the world to know that I had a message for everybody. And the message was I'm a cool guy. Now, everybody understands when you say the word cool, cool is a culture. And the culture of being cool is basically don't mess with me. Is don't you're talked about. You have a reputation. You do the wrong things. You're rebellious. You're lawless. Being cool, it ties into all these things. That reputation of being cool is you listen to usually rap music. You're always getting in trouble. You have a lot of tattoos. You go to jail. You sleep with a lot of people. All that is part of being cool. And so for me, TV and all that kind of culture and kind of stuff that I was growing up in, especially in public schools, that's what was showing me that this is the way to go, right? Because there was the nerds, there was the smart people, and then when you looked in that direction, you're like, nah. Then there was the cool guys, and then you looked at in that direction, and everybody was so cool. And I like I like the attitude of like I don't give a damn what you think. I like the attitude of I'm gonna do whatever I want when I want how I want. I'm gonna take what's mine. I'm not gonna ask for it. I'm gonna take it. For me that kind of spoke to me. I'm like, oh man, I like that. I like that. You know, and so I got into it, man. In the very beginning, as a child, when I first got started, I was about 9 years old. And when I first got started, I didn't. I had to learn the lingo. You know, that's when that's when I was learning the slang words. Like dog and yeah, dog goes all the way back to the '80s, bro. Did you know that? And these words, they've been around for a minute. So, I learned all the slang, right? And now I feel weird saying it because I'm a Christian. I don't really talk like that no more. I've matured out of it, and so I'm not gonna go through each and every word that but because I don't talk like that no more. And so, glory to God, for real. And so, when I was a child, man, I remember going through the steps of learning. My brother was teaching me the ropes, you dropping your pants, dropping your shorts and wearing, showing your boxers and having a little, bling bling, and you show your chain, show that, all these little things that you're sending little subliminal messages to people, right? And so, at age 17, I got shot for something like this. I got shot in my shoulder. I got pistol whipped. I got jumped. I've been through a little bit, so I have a lot of experiences under my belts. But like, as I grew, in the beginning, guys, I'm going somewhere with all this. In the beginning, everything was pleasure. There was no consequences, because I still had my soul. I had my soul intact. And everything in the very beginning is so exciting because it's new and it's an adrenaline. To do the wrong thing, there's an adrenaline there. When you're getting in trouble, it's like your heart is beating and there's an adrenaline. Oh, I got away with it. I stole the box of donuts from the grocery store and I got away with it. It was a big adrenaline, and then it's almost like a high. And then you move up in ranks and in scales, and you move up in the ladder. And guys, listen to this part. At this point, you're signing a document. You're signing a contract that you're serving the devil, and you don't know it, but this is the truth. At this point, the devil is recruiting you to his family, kind of thing, because there's a line on the sand, and on this side belongs good, and on this side belongs evil, and that's how it is. The good guys, they help, they bless, They look for opportunities to feed the poor and whatnot. And then you have the people that bash the homeless. They get a baseball bat and they hit it to they hit the homeless guy over the head. And you have the people that steal from the homeless. Imagine that. And you have the people that get to the homeless. And there is a line and there's a difference between making a mistake and living a lifestyle of that and really getting off on doing it, right? I'm going to talk about how to get out of it if you're interested, but we're not there yet. So I'm growing at this point. I'm about 9, 10, 11 years old, and I'm getting into smoking and drinking, okay? And I'm drinking the OEs. I remember the quarts. And I think I'm the coolest guy, you know. My head is now like, I'm having little imaginations, movies playing in my head of just just like what I could dress like and how I could catch more attention and etc. And I remember just wearing my hat backwards like Tupac, a little bit to the side like that. And and I used to go to sleep with Tupac on and Bone Thugs on. That was my little music that I would. And little by little, I didn't know it, but I was being brainwashed, and brainwashed in the sense of, lyrics and the music and the lifestyle and all that. It was getting on the inside of me. So in the beginning, I was a suburban kid. I was middle class. I wasn't ghetto and I wasn't hard. I was being raised right. I was going to the regular public school. I had I had food in my. I wasn't rich and I wasn't poor. I had toys, etc. And so, but here I am choosing a lifestyle, that interests me, and it's being glorified in front of me, almost like this is what I want to be. And everybody knows that when you're looking at something that you want, you're gonna walk after it, run after it. So I started running after this thing, and I understood that in order to live this life, you had to be hard, you had to be tough, you had to prove yourself. I understood little by little as tests started coming my way. People would check you. They'll try you, and then at that point, if you back down, you're soft. And if you step up, then you get dabs, you get props, you get a pat on the back, you get a hug, you get a point on your scoreboard, almost like, yeah, he's cool. I vouch for him. He's cool. And I started to learn at a young age, 11, 12 years old. Oh, I get it. Okay. So we started getting into it more at this point. And like I said before, I'm living for the devil at this point, but I didn't know it. And so the devil introduces himself to me. And I hear a voice in my head for the first time that I never heard before. And this voice cusses out the weather lady on TV. I'm watching the weather channel, and I hear a voice I've never heard before. And like I said, the voice cusses her out, and I don't cuss, so I'm not going to repeat the words. But it called her names in my head, and guess what I did, guys? This is going to help some people. I embraced that voice. I thought it was me. I said, yo, because remember, I'm trying to be cool. And bad words are part of being cool. So I'm like, was that me? Did I just call that lady a bunch of names in my head? I said, I smiled and I took that voice with me. I walked out of that room and I was almost embracing. It was this moment of, I like this. I want this. Yes. And I was thinking more fond of myself at that point. Almost like, hey, I really am cool. It's not that I'm trying to be cool. I really am. I was embracing it at that point, right? So at 13, 14 years old, the devil starts to move people into my life to get me addicted. These people smoke weed every single day of their life. And this will happen with people like you because the devil moves the same way with everybody. So that's why the Bible says that they overcame the devil by the word of their testimony and the blood of the Lamb. The word of their testimony, meaning my testimony I'm sharing with you, you're going to tell me in the comments, yo, I'm going through that same exact thing. Because he does the same thing. He copies and pastes the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm going to try to help people. So again, I'm 14 years old now, and the devil sends, uh, 13 years old, and people start to come into my life that they all they do is smoke weed. I mean, I'm talking about every hour, man. And there's this guy. He's on my. And he's always telling me, let's smoke, let's smoke, let's smoke, let's smoke. I mean, wake and bake like back to back. And I'm like, man, I like it, but I don't like it that much, man. But I want to be cool. And so, in order to be cool, you got to do things that you never show, like, that you don't want something that's part of the cool, you know. So smoking weed is cool. If I say no, then I'm not cool. I'm not accepted. So I gotta smoke. In other words. And so yeah, I smoked a lot. I smoked a lot. And then before I knew it, it became part of my life, right? And that was the whole point, that the devil was doing this. I didn't know it was the devil. Now looking back, I see how the devil operates. And so then moving on, right? Then the weed became a Xanax. And so one of my good friends of mine, he wanted to pop Xanax. Every time he smoked weed, he wanted to pop Xanax, and he was obsessed with it. We're 13 years old, and this dude just every time he wanted. And I said, man, I don't care for that too much, but it was just like this egging on, this peer pressure. There's like, yeah, yeah, I want it, I want it. I was like, all right, let's do it. So I was always along for the ride kind of thing, because I was a follower and I wasn't a leader at that point. And so part of my testimony now is that I'm like one of the biggest leaders. I mean, I won't follow anybody, nobody, because I know what it's like to be a follower, and it got me into such deep hell that now I don't care, bro. I don't care. And so, uh, this guy wanted to pop Xanax over and over again every time we smoked, and so I started getting into it as well. And then after a while, I started